more like hit your mother. This is Play PSVR 2, the podcast, and gaming is in session. Alex, are you ready to be the ultimate hitman?
Adam, I'm ready for anything. I did not know when I sent you that bald cap that this is what it was going to be. I thought there was some other stupid thing you had going on. That looks incredible, Adam.
No,
The whole out. Wait, it's not just a bald cap. The whole outfit looks incredible.
I think this was meant for a wig. I also couldn't figure out how to put a barcode on the back of my head, so I had to
You,
roll
you
with
you didn't have a Sharpie?
it. It doesn't. I think it's meant for a wig. It doesn't work. It works if you look at me up front and the skin tone's off, which I hope everything I wanted. Hitman. We've been waiting to play this game. Alex, I'm just gonna say off the top, I don't think it disappointed. We're gonna get into it, but before we get into it, we gotta get into this gamer juice. You know how it goes right here. Stang, it's the world's most sour soda. So,
That's like rolling a bean in and of itself. How sour can you get?
oh, it's not good. Dude, it's like all citric acid. It's like, oh, the thing is, I'll give them credit. It hurts your throat. Like it actually burns. And most things, it's like, oh, it's extremely sour. It never is. Like, it feels like I just drank sandpaper on the back of my throat. It's blue raspberry. You can't tell. It
Do
ha-
you think? Do you think that is the world's most sour, most extremely sour soda?
you know, it's so bad, I think it might be. Because other people who actually want to make good soda sour, you could actually, there's no taste. That doesn't have a flavor. It's just sour. It literally, I wonder if the main ingredient is citric acid. Oh no, carbonated water, cane sugar, citric acid. That's how it goes.
That doesn't seem much because like what's mine? I have a soda, carbonated water, and natural flavors. Okay. I'm trying to think of what
Oh,
else would be like.
oh, oh.
I was thinking they have more citric acid than carbonated soda than cane sugar, actually.
Well, 38 grams of sugar here, and it is wowzers.
And not a one of them's kicked in. Yeah.
Oh, wait, what the heck? Oh, no, I thought it said 8 grams of protein. It's zero. Okay, so
About to
that's
get
what I'm drinking. I'm sour. I'm a sour puss. What are you drinking?
scrambled to the kitchen. I just woke up from a nap, Adam. Seltzer Kroger seltzer water, strawberry lemonade, but we're gonna mix it.
Oh, it's a mixer. What are you mixing it with?
Orange juice. Could you
Wait,
hear me?
oh, oh, it's so
We're
sour.
mixing it with orange juice.
But why? I thought you mixed orange juice with alcohol.
I don't need it today. Ugh.
Oh gosh.
No,
Oh
did you never do Sprite and orange juice as a kid? That was like a mainstay for me.
no. Oh my.
Put a little bit of sugar
A
with my
real
sugar.
hitman can drink this crap. You're right. This is like a bean. This is a punishment. Is my tongue blue?
It is.
I knew it.
But that I think it's less blue from food dye, more blue from STD.
From Blue Balls. Alex, tell us about Hitman. You've played this before, but we're playing it for the PSVR 2 here. You don't need to go into a whole thing, but tell us a little about Hitman, a little context. Whet the appetite of the listeners.
Adam, I didn't think I put in a script for you to do this, but I exactly want to do this segment. This is something I Hitman is a very interesting franchise, I think. I played it back. I think the original one, Hitman, came out on PC and it was so old I think I couldn't find they didn't like had a CD drive or something that I could play off of. But Hitman 2 came out for the consoles. I think it did it come out for GameCube? Anyways, I played it on GameCube or PS2. There's a third person shooter game, and the thing that was crazy was that each level was kind of this a small open world, and you could kill anybody, you could dress up as anybody, and when you go through the level, there's just like an insane number of variation of any ways you can get to your target that you're supposed to kill. So ideally, like you're supposed to sneak into the environment, and somehow sneak your way to where you get a face-to-face meeting with the person you're trying to kill. Then you got to kill them secretly and sneak back out, ideally without ever being noticed. And because of that, you have things in the games where you can like dress up like the chef and poison the food and deliver the food to the person, and then they die and you escape. Or you could just like be across the map and just like go guns blazing and take them out. Um, and so I loved Hitman 2, felt great. Never played Hitman 3 because the reviews weren't great. And then there was a bunch of weird Hitman that almost seemed like action movies. And then out of nowhere, the company IOI Interactive that makes it was like, guess what? We're starting over. And they released Hitman, which is very confusing because there were like six other Hitmen before that. But what was cool was instead of releasing one game, they released like one level. I think the first it might have been free to play. Like the first level was free, and then every month they would release another level. And I think they were trying to promote people to play the game as like, listen, each level is so huge you can play it over and over again, and that's almost its own game. So we're going to give you time with each level to play through it. That was successful. Then they made Hitman 2 based on that model, then Hitman 3 based on that model, and now they've combined them all and called it Hitman World of Assassination, and it's got like all three of them, and it's super modified and great for the PlayStation 5. And they ported it to the PSVR 1 and it was janky, and they ported it to the Quest and it was janky, and they ported it to the PSVR 2 and it's not janky anymore, Adam. It's the whole damn game, the whole kit and caboodle on PSVR, and I think there's no compromises. It looks like, granted, this is a game that was made back in the PS4 era, and it looks as good as the PS4 game, if not better, in the PSVR 2 headset, and that's a good thing because most games look like PS3 or PS2 and PSVR 2. So yeah, I played it a bit on PSVR 1. I didn't really dive into it that much, and I'm so glad I waited because it works way better now than it did with the Move controllers, and it's super freaking fun. Uh, that's the short story of Hitman, the franchise. Adam, do you have any questions for me as an expert on Hitman? Oh, they made a movie too at one point.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Agent 47, how hooked is this man?
How hooked?
Yeah, in your eyes.
A 4.7. And I just thought, here's the thing about Agent 47. He's supposed to be bald because he's this cold, calculating assassin. I feel like the whole reason he's bald is because like that's all they could do for the video game character and look decent back when the first game came out, and then they just had to stick with the bald look.
I think if I didn't get to the point in the plot where why he has a barcode on the back of his head, but if he had hair, he couldn't have that. So I think it's a plot device.
I I haven't gotten that far in the plot either. I think there was one of the games where you were Agent 47 going around killing the other agents, and they had barcodes in their head. I don't think they were all bald.
Hmm. Well, either way, so jumping in here, Alex, did you play this on the PS5 in the flat version, or did you only play in VR?
Only in VR.
I wanted to try both, right?
Yeah.
Because we're reviewing both. I wanted an idea. It sucks. Flat version, not interested at all. It's another example of how virtual reality radically changes the game to where it goes from a game where I wasn't even remotely interested in playing to a game that now, a game changer. Probably one of the best games in VR. It just changes everything. The VR component is paramount to your enjoyment in this game. And if you have the ability to play this in virtual reality, there's no second guessing. You gotta do it. It's good. Get bald. Shove bananas down your pants with a couple socks. Show up, show out. Hang dong. You gotta do it. It's good. So ultimately you suggested you're an agent, you're going around. This is a really fun concept. The I don't Let's start with what did you enjoy most about the game? So people get the premise, you're a hitman, you go out, there's multiple different ways to attack your targets. They give you a mission with objectives. You achieve those objectives, but then afterwards there's a bunch of other replay value in going and achieving the other objectives. It's really that simple. So what is your favorite aspect of the game? Why were you seem to like it? Why did you like it?
I mean, it's nothing's held back. It seems like kind of like a Resident Evil 4, right? Nothing's held back. If anything, it's made better. Like my favorite things about the game are improvements on the whole on this game franchise as a whole, and they're my favorite because they really accentuate what's good about the game. If you are having trouble understanding, like, how am I supposed to play this, get the most fun out of this? Because it's very open ended, right? Like I can almost kill everybody on the map and the target and leave, or I can be like super ninja style. And I always had trouble in the Hitman franchise of like, if I kill anybody other than the main target, I'm out of here. And I restart and reload, and it really ruins the game for me. But it's hard for me to get out of that mindset of like, do it perfect. That's how you're supposed to do it. Um, this game gives you like checkpoints as you're going throughout the level. It's like called a mission story, and then they highlight where to go next because there's really intricate stuff you can do to assassinate your targets. Um, but that one thing that bothered me was like I can kind of see the pieces, but I could never put them together with the timing and everything you have to do. But these little mission story things like are like, hey, you got to get a new lens for the camera. Now you got to get that camera over to this lady who's expecting it. Oh, did you hear on the phone this lady is going XYZ? Now you got to go over there as that. And then you find yourself in a situation where you can assassinate the enemy and it feels like all that hard work pays off. Um, yeah, so that variability of the missions, the size of the missions, and then their little checkpointing system, that's the best parts about the game to me.
See, I think this game is so close to, in my opinion, being the pinnacle of gaming. It's so close to being the perfect mix of seriousness, yet fun and perfection in the way it looks and the way the controls are and everything. It I love how you can, as you suggested, go at the same objective in multiple different ways. I think that's my favorite thing. I can go in, although it's a little more difficult being Rambo, you can go in being Rambo. You can go in as the chef. You can poison the trophy cup and wait for your and I mean, so one of the levels, one of my favorite ones, where there's a Grand Prix where there's a dude you need to kill and then his daughter. And the daughter is like a race car driver. I forgot, it's not IndyCar. It's I don't know what the
Let's say I think it's Le Mans. Yeah.
whatever that is. I don't know. So she is racing the entire time. So I love how what I did is I could go in, I poisoned the trophy cup. So I needed her to win. So she would go to the trophy cup and drink the liquid out of the trophy. So then I went and I mugged a guy that was one of the crew dictating the race, waving the flags and crap. I beat him up, stole his clothes, looked at his dingling, it was real short, and then I took the flag, disqualified the person who was in first place. So he got kicked out. She won. And then to celebrate all that crap, literally mugged someone else, took their clothes, escorted her to the trophy thing, watched her drink the juice in the trophy. Boom, she dead. That's so cool. But
Yeah.
then I replayed it and I just went up at him and shot her in the face. It's so cool that you can beat this game in so many different ways. It's like a choose your own adventure. And you're right.
Yeah.
It does add replayability in a game like so many games, especially in VR, there's not much replayability. Like Resident Evil, incredible, right? But it's got a long time before I want to play Resident Evil again, just because it's so long, it's not bite-sized. If you already know the plot, you already know the jump scares, it's not the same. That's not the case for this game. What's been your favorite scenario, your favorite level, the favorite thing that you've done that just in the time that you've played?
Uh, See, I'm really slow because I see so much stuff in the levels, and so I play through the same level like 5 times, trying to see all the things. I remember when I played on PSVR one of the best things was the Dubai level, like just the fact that you could be there, even on PSVR one, the fact that you could be there in the top of a skyscraper in Dubai, assassinating somebody, that was crazy. Um, but I guess my favorite, I just finished the Paris level in like a stealth mode, and or not Paris, the Sapienza. Did you do that one? Like on the beach with the castle?
I don't know these. I don't think I've hit a castle. No.
Okay. There's it's not like a full castle. There's a level where you got to kill like a scientist and his scientist wife, and then this virus that they're making. You got to destroy the virus too. And you're in some like not British, Brazilian town or something, Spanish town. On the coast of Spain, I think. Um, and the way I ultimately had to do it, at first I was like, I'm gonna get in a tower. I got a sniper rifle. I can see where the two guys are because they do have this cool like sense mode that like highlights all the characters, so you can kind of see where they are. But it only works like a certain distance. But you know where your targets are. I tried to snipe them and I sniped one of them. Then I had to go and try to get the other one and I couldn't. So I ultimately had to do this mission by like find a flower delivery guy because it's the assassin target's mom's death anniversary. Find the flower delivery guy, knock him out, take his clothes, get some flowers, go to the front door, tell them you're here to deliver flowers to the grave. You go deliver them to the grave, and then that dude gets called by his butler to come down and like pay respects to his mom. He screams at the security guards, which makes them leave because he's supposed to have a private moment at his mom's grave. And then you pop out of the bushes and cap his ass. And then I had to
Oh,
go back to the city and find some detective that was going to meet with the wife, dress up as him, and then go to the pier, pretend to be him. The wife's like, "We got to go somewhere private to talk about this deal about my husband. I'm gonna cut him out." And you go to the cave, and she's like, "Hey, rat on my husband," and you're like, "I can't do that." She says, "Fine, I'll see you later." And she turns around, you cap her again, and she gives you the key card. Then you got to go down and be a scientist. It was just, man, I when I first realized what I had to do to beat the level, I was like, this is going to be a long haul. But by the end of it, it was like, wow, that was crazy and that was wild. And there was parts where like I got caught and I could just like assassinate that one dude's like, shh, 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 just kill this extra guy, shh, 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 and keep it secret. And then by the end, I was like guns blazing with a machine gun, running towards a helicopter. It was like one of the best, most cinematic, exciting levels of a game. Um, yeah,
is that a Hitman 1?
it's in Hitman One. Yeah.
See, so the I played very little of Hitman 1.
Mm.
I played a lot of Hitman 2 just because it is really confusing how the menus worked, and eventually now I understand, but the way they laid it out just didn't make much sense. But one thing I really do like is that you could go to the very last level if you don't and not do any of the levels before, which I think is perfect because it advises you, hey, before you play this level, you should beat the level before, but it doesn't stop you, which I think is smart. There was one level, well, I essentially did everything, but there was what exactly was it? Oh, um, I was in a level, and these levels are massive. The maps,
Yeah.
I actually would argue they're too big. But so, and I hate it when they're like, rather than have one target, you have to kill three of them. I'm like, it gets a little old. So I killed two of them. The third guy I couldn't find how to get to him. And I mean, I was walking around 20 minutes. So I was like, F this. And I was still able to go to the next level. That's a game changer. I would have been really frustrated if you had to beat that level to go to the next. And so why I brought this up? Oh, the love menus. I don't remember why. I started Hitman 2. My thought was I didn't understand the menus, so I couldn't understand Hitman 1. Sequels are often in video games can be better because they learned from the first one, they improved, and then the third one is where they start to lose ideas and it goes downhill. So I did most of two. I did. So you mainly played one. Did you play any two, or do you think there actually is a better Hitman game based on the reviews or your experience? Like, should someone focus on one, two, or three specifically?
I don't think so. They're all the same. They're like the same engine, from what I gather. Like Hitman 1 and 2 and 3. I don't think there's huge changes between them. I think they're more or less like sets of levels that you're playing. Um, and then they like added game modes and stuff along the way, but this kind of consolidates all of that stuff. And I think really, no, you play whichever one you want, right? They shouldn't even say Hitman 1, 2, or 3. They should just have like a list of levels because one downside of the game is like I could not care less about the story. I barely know what's going on. I'm an assassin, and my like handler's like reluctant or something like that. We're going like against other assassins, and then every time you finish a level, there's like a cutscene, and it's like before you killed the person or after you killed the person. There's some dude going around like killing. I can't figure it out honestly, and I think maybe that's like you just got to keep playing the levels because you can't see the cutscenes until you play the level. And like your reward is like by the time you finish the game, there might be an actual story there. I don't know. But even knowing that there's like it's drip feeding you stuff and it's supposed to be secret, like I got no idea what's going on. I don't know who the bad guys are. I don't know if I'm a bad guy. And so I think just okay, I'll forget about the story. Just gonna play the levels. Just play the levels.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in Hitman 2, I kind of followed some of the plot, but I don't really care, I'll be honest. And I feel like the mission intros are pretty good. They're pretty quick. In 2 minutes, they tell you what's going on. But and this is, I think, a good problem. The game is so fun. I don't want to watch your effing cutscenes.
Yeah.
Let me kill somebody, right? Like, give me the freaking gameplay. I don't want to sit there and get blue balls from Hitman. I want to play the game. I I've had such a wildly large amount of fun just screwing around, not even doing the objective. And all of this sounds like I'm a psychopath. I like going after the civilians, the innocent people. The very first thing I did. So the very first mission in Hitman 1, you get plopped down. It's after you do the little tutorial. There's a boat in front of you. You got to figure out how to get on the boat and kill a bad guy, right?
Oh yeah,
So
that's the tutorial mission. It's like what an amazing tutorial mission. But anyways,
exactly.
go ahead. Yeah.
So guess what the first thing I did was? You're probably not gonna know. I the boat, the ramp onto the boat, there's two police officers. First thing I did, walked right up, punched him in the face, grabbed his crotch. I obviously lost because they were like, "Oh, what's your problem?" And then they shot me and I died. So fun. I had a blast. Love doing that. I did it all the time. I try to fist fight people. I had one glitch. I sent this to you on PSN where I had a glitch where it was after a long day and I went for a run and all that stuff. So my feet hurt. So I tried playing the game sitting down. It doesn't work. You can't do it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like you can, but it's just if you want to be good, you need to stand. So
Yeah.
I tried sitting down, it didn't work. So then I stood up, and I don't know what it was, the level where there was the art show and you had to kill two. It was like I think a husband and wife duo. It was a pretty difficult level actually, but when I stood up, I guess the game glitched and I couldn't die. Like nothing could kill me. It was awful.
Oh.
So then I took the wrench and I just like walked up to people and beat them over the head silly and killed them. I went to like all of that's so I sent you a video of me going, it's a big art show. So there's a
Yeah.
bunch of civilians. And so I shot a gun in the air so they all started like scattering. And then I just went freaking ham and beat everyone over the head senseless. Bodies are lying on the ground. There's blood on the walls. I can't be killed. They're shooting me. I'm running around, just, dude, it was a blast. Freaking loved it. And then it also was, I mean, that level, I bet I killed 350 people. And that's the level I realized I don't, at least some of the levels, I don't think there is an end to the enemies. Like you can't kill them all because they just keep coming. Which I mean, at
I
that
think if the alarm's going, I think so. I think you could secretly take them out and like if you don't raise any like official alarms, you could probably take everybody out. But if you're like on a high alert, I think they just keep coming. They keep spawning.
but when you can't die, yeah, it's kind of nice. But
Yeah.
it was I liken it to almost like GoldenEye for the N64 in terms of you have this map, there's some strategy to it, but like you have the freedom to have a little bit of fun, but it's tough because it is difficult. Like the game isn't easy, even on casual
Yeah.
mode. Now it's not unfairly difficult by any means, but you do have to actually think. Which do you like that aspect, or would you rather be a little more run and gun, a little more playful, or do you like the planning and detail aspect of it?
I I mean at first it's like annoying because you are like you want to run a gun, but I think you're right. I think the planning and not that you're right, but I really like the planning and detail aspect of it because you made a good comparison, like GoldenEye 007. Why was that such like a fun first person shooter for me? It's because you had objectives at the start of the missions, and it wasn't really clear how to solve those objectives. Like, you know, you got to disable the alarms. You could get the scientists to disable them. You could blow them all up yourself. Like there were multiple ways to do things, not complicated. But yeah, Hitman's very similar where it doesn't rub your nose in the solution. And in fact, it rubs your nose in like five possible solutions, and you got to figure out how to accomplish that one solution. No other game really does that way. I'm trying to think of another game that has like these multiple variable, very complicated routes to a solution. Most games that even ones that I really like and are good are like go to this checkpoint. There's only one thing you can interact with in this room. It's that thing right there. All right, mission accomplished. Go to the next checkpoint. Hit this one button. Mission accomplished. This game's not like that. It's like it's like an ecosystem, right? Like all the NPCs have something they're doing. They're working through stuff as like the timer on the watch goes. Like they're all just going through stuff and they got a routine, and you have to navigate around that. And one thing they do really well, I don't think it was this good back in the PS2 era, is the enemy AI is like pretty good for how they should be responding to you given a situation. So like depending on your outfit, some characters are set off, some aren't. Depending on, what you're carrying, depending on how you're behaving in general. Like it
So the one I think you are for the most part definitely correct. The one thing that bothered me though is when I'm in an outfit that's neutral, like it's not raising alarms to the other person, and I walk up to them or try to walk by, and they're like, "Hey, you can't, you can't go past here or whatever." Then they continue to pursue you even when I turn around and walk out. Like some of it is kind of dumb, or like
yeah.
there's no real reason they're targeting me, and they lock on and they do the thing. It's not like it immediately go after you. They're just like, "What are you doing, buddy? Hey, what? Say something. Hey, I'm starting to get sick of you. Hey, I'm warning you." And then they start shooting you. But like, I didn't do anything. If I did something, I could see why they're coming after me. But I'm literally just standing there. So like, that's kind of annoying, just because of the strategy I'm trying to employ. But for the most part, I think I agree with you there.
Yeah, sometimes you can like glitchily cross the line and not really know what you did. The other thing about being in VR is like sometimes you forget what you look like. Because I know like if you have a weapon over your shoulder, that's not hidden. So like you could be dressed up as a chef, but if the chef walks into the kitchen with like an assault rifle on his back, like everybody's gonna be like, what are you doing? What is this? What's going on here? So um that happens sometimes. Like I forgot you get after you beat a level, you could like get something dropped at a safe house. I got a sniper rifle dropped off at the safe house, and I didn't realize like, oh, I can't walk around with a sniper rifle on my back, and like I was setting off flags left and right. So you got to carry it in like a briefcase instead. I don't know. It was kind of cool, but I think for the most part, like 70-80% of the time, like that security level stuff works really well. Every once in a while, you get the weird thing, like you said, where they're just kind of screaming at you. All right, buddy. Oh, what a freak. Oh, hey, guy, get back here.
Yeah.
Uh, but even that, like, that's kind of funny and goofy, and so it kind of adds to the goofy fun, the campy fun aspect of it.
Yeah, I wish there was a little more campy fun, if I'm going to be honest, or maybe a mode that was like more campy fun. So I mean, one thing the game does so well, and I'm not sure why, the small things that are kind of just like the steps to get to the ultimate goal can be exceedingly fun. So, for example, there was which level was it? Oh gosh, was it? I don't remember which one it was. Was it the racing one? No, it wasn't the racing one. One of the levels I had to go in, and I had to get through like a security checkpoint and get up into the building and ultimately get to a guy. So the very first step was just like trying to get a key card. And
Yeah,
so there was no real enemies around. I had to walk in this building and there was just a general security guard at the door. So I had to find like a somewhat alarming but not too alarming way to get his attention. And then I ran into the bathroom and then ran into the toilet. And then he came after me. Like, so it had to be a big enough deal he would follow me, not be like, and then like leave me alone because there is a degree, like you were saying, where
Yeah.
you're just like the AI smart enough where it'll just be like, it wasn't that big of a deal, and he turns around. So I had to figure out what can it be that he'll actually chase me to the turtlet, and then I have to mugged him, and then pulled his pants down, stole his clothes, and I was a security guard. Like that is such in the grand scheme of the map and the objectives, such a small thing, right? Like that's goal and step number one out of 50. Like, who cares? But that felt so cool and so good and so fun that rarely do games, the most basic things that you need to do are that fun. Like, I don't know if it's the setting. What do you think makes it so fun?
I think it's the variability and like it's almost like they've designed the missions really well because they're really dense, right? Like the maps are big, but there's something going on everywhere. And even though it's confusing, like what is the next step to do this next thing? Sometimes it feels like those elements fall in your lap and you're like I'll start a level and like I start the level thinking I'm going to be sneaky, I'm going to assassinate him like from afar, and before I know it, I'm dressed up as like a minister and I'm carrying around a cake or something like that. And it's like, all right, I got to figure out how to kill somebody from this situation. And so it's like you can worm yourself into these situations you didn't expect, and then you're like, all right, how do I get out of this situation I'm currently in and also kill the target? Surely there's something I can do there. And I think that's just there's always opportunities popping up, popping up, popping up, and so that keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, man, yeah, it's good. I've had clearly a lot of fun with the game. I wanted a VR game that was like real good to get me back into it, right? I will admit the learning curve, maybe it was just, I hadn't played VR in a while, so it took me a good while to like get into it. But once you get into it, once you feel it, once you see the vision, it's like it's good. Like I want to stop recording and go play right now. I wish there
Yeah,
was like a multiplayer mode almost so like we could work together, like a co-op mode. That would be dope. But I'm sure it's difficult. I don't know how they would employ it. Any other last things to end the segment? Next segment, we'll talk about some of the stuff we don't like. There are some things I don't love, but we'll cover those in the next segment. Any lasting impressions from you, Alex?
no, I mean we'll cover the things we don't like, but man, it is really it's just really good. Like it's no holds barred, Hitman, Assassin, just with all the sorts of fun stuff. It's a great surprise that it was pulled off so well.
What what is the chance you think you beat Hitman 1? Are you gonna keep playing that?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Only it's exhausting. I'll be honest, it's exhausting.
It
Like,
is, but that I love the fact that you can just play one mission. And granted,
yeah,
yeah, a mission's 40 minutes, right? But then
yeah,
do that for a lunch break and then leave or like but you're right. I don't know if it's the stress, if it's the strategy, if it's what it is, but it is tiring.
yeah.
What do you think? Is that VR? Like, what do you think that is?
I mean, it's partly VR because like I'm standing the whole time. I play standing. I'm standing, and so like there's a little bit of exhaustion there. But I think this is a game that's like really hitting your senses, right? You're listening to stuff all the time. Like I don't know about you, when I'm on a disguise, even when I know I'm cool, my head is on a swivel, man. I'm like looking around everywhere. I'm listening to everything. Like I always feel like I'm about to get busted, even when I'm like a scientist in a room. So like I think that heightened awareness that you're doing with all the stimulus coming in and you're like very rarely running too. So like you're carefully walking. Things take a while. It's just that tension cranks up. The music will crank up. It's physically and emotionally exhausting, but that's because it's good.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's I don't know all the reasons why it's tiring. I was surprised how much it makes you think.
Yeah.
Rarely do games I feel like make me think. Like it's even more deeper thinking than Tetris or something like a puzzle game, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to think in Tetris, just for example, but it's this you have to critically think. Tetris, you just kind of got to think. A lot of puzzle games, it's muscle memory and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Pattern recognition. This is like you have to critically think almost the whole time. But like you said, it's a blast.
Yeah.
Um, should we just head to segment two?
Yeah. Let's go into segment two so we can talk some more about it, man.
Play PSVR 2. The podcast is back. Gaming is in session is back. I hit not on men, but on Alex's mother during the break. It got hot and steamy, just like this episode is hot and steamy, just like this segment is going to be hot and steamy. Alex, we talked a lot about the good things of the game, and I think some more of those will still come out. During the break, have you thought of any other positives to cover real quick before we start going to some of the stuff we didn't like?
Um, I, I guess we say it a bunch. It's really dense, man. Right? Like playing the first level, even the training level. You get through it and you realize they have these objectives. I didn't mention that each level has like a huge list of objectives, which like you definitely can't do them all in one run, which is good. Like I like that. It means I'm not doing perfect run nonsense. Um, but it'll just be stuff like disguise yourself as the ice cream man or something like that. And it just feels good to play through the level with the goal of like, let's accomplish some of these objectives in mind. It'd be like poison somebody with rat poison, poison their favorite drink. And it just that helps push you at the replay. But you could go through, I went through the Paris level without ever engaging with the entire half of the level dedicated to a fashion show. Which like that, if I play for that, it's like now I have two levels for the price of one. It's just so much variation in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Let's see if I put anything down that specifically we haven't covered. I don't think so. It's, I mean, one thing which is a double, maybe I don't know, a backhanded compliment, maybe, is that honestly, man, I feel like it might be too real. Like, it is eerily. I'm afraid if someone has like a serial killer mentality and they play this game, you're like, oh, this is how I could do it. Like it's realistic enough. It gives me the GB heebies. Like, do you know what I mean?
I mean I see I can appreciate your concern. I think like this is a heavy topic, but like maybe this like power fantasy like this gets it out of their system, right? But I mean the reality is this
Maybe.
situations are so complex and ridiculous. Like this isn't going to be a tutorial on how to be an assassin, right? Like
Yeah,
just putting
yeah. But it feels like when I was telling you that, oh, I goaded a freaking security guard to get in the bathroom, ripped his pants off, and mugged him. I mean, that felt good. If it felt good in the game, what if you're like, that could feel good in real life? Like, why could I not do the same thing in real life?
because
Tell,
there's not garbage cans all over in real life that you can dump bodies into like you can in this game. Everywhere you go in this game, there's a garbage can you can dump a body into.
yeah, but I mean, it's interesting that the other NPCs will see a body and they're like, "Oh, what the heck?" But you're just like you're walking at that point. Like there's not really. I don't know. I see what you mean too, but it's almost sometimes a little too close to home, and I feel like I'm a psychopath,
Yeah,
especially when I have more fun going after the non people you're supposed to kill, not following the
the
objective
non-targets. Yeah,
and just screwing around. Like, I really do the thing where I'm like, you busted. And then, I mean, it's the full VR is incredible. For some, I mean, it is absolutely impeccable. But here's the thing: there's some other things I legitimately do not like about this game. And the very first one is we've already talked about a little bit. I'm not going to belabor the point. It's the menus, right?
yeah.
In the break, I mentioned so you start the game. Obviously, I think you're going to start with Hitman 1 because that's your thought, right? And there's a tutorial level, the one where I mentioned, like, I punched the police officer in the face, very first thing, right? Then the second level is called the final test. But the menus are so confusing and you're so disoriented that I thought that was the final level. And so I was like, what's happening? And then that's why I moved to Hitman 2 partially. And it like the menus are confusing. And I thought I was an idiot, and I was certain when I told you that I struggled with the menu, I thought you were going to rip me a new one and call me an idiot. Turns out even they're kind of confusing for you, right?
Yeah, I'm a total genius, and even I got confused by the complexity of Hitman's menus. No, it's I don't know what I know the problem they have, right? Because I mean, let's say for example you screw up in the mission and you want to start over. First of all, there's no auto saves at least on the difficulty I'm playing, so you have to manually save, and it's really hard to remember to do that in the heat of the moment. So like I spent too much time restarting entire missions when I should have been saving along the way and starting from a save point. Once I do that, it's a lot more enjoyable. But to your point, the menus like say you want to restart a mission, hit start. There's like save, there's load, there's restart mission, there's replan mission, and like any of them you pick is like, oh, you're gonna lose all unsaved stuff. You sure you want to do this? And then it takes me like 3 or 4 times to be like, yeah, no, this is the one I wanted to do. Like this is I wanted to restart it, or I want to replan and get a different gun. And but you don't know what like it means to like plan the mission or start the mission. And
Yeah.
then when you're ready to start the mission, it's like you look like you're selecting start game, but then there's like a difficulty selection. But it's like I thought I already selected the difficulty, and then like I never know how, I wanted to know what objectives to complete. I never could figure out how to look up what the objectives are. Like I only time I see objectives is when I finish the mission, and then I got to think to myself like that's okay. Remember to do like this and this and this. And I know there's a way to see the objectives mid game because I got there one time accidentally. I don't know how to get there through the
Uh,
menu. It doesn't. Yeah,
yeah. And speaking, this is somewhat of my airing a grievance. The autosave. Like,
yeah.
here's the thing. So when you start the game, it says something like, hey, there's no autosave. Just so you know, you got to manually save. And I was like, okay. But my issue is when you play the game, first of all, that's not always true. It is in the settings. Thankfully, you told me that. When you go into the settings, there's a setting to turn on autosave. Number one, why would you not make that the default? In what world does a player prefer to manually save, especially in an action oriented game with the stress levels where they're at in this game and the timing that you need? Oh, I want to stop everything and save. And also, by the way, if an enemy is on you, you can't save. Or if you're in the middle of combat or anything like that, you cannot manually save. So then it's like, what? It's horrible.
That that's good though because the tricky thing with no autosaves is that you can accidentally save yourself into like an unwinnable situation, and so at least that prevents that a little bit. But yeah, they have to be nice about they have to do that because they don't have the autosaves you're talking about.
But they have the autosave. Turn it on, at least for Hitman 2. I don't
Yeah,
know Hitman 1, but Hitman 2, they're available. They work great. Make it default. But then the biggest kick in the balls is not only that they turn off the autosave automatically, but when you go through the levels, there is something on the top right, or I think bottom right, I believe. It says saving.
yeah.
And so I'm going through the levels, and we were talking about this, Alex, where in the beginning I did not like the game. But I didn't like the game, I think, because there's this learning curve of I did the same thing you were doing. I didn't manually save because I saw in the bottom right it says saving.
It
So
feels like it's saving. Yeah,
yeah, so I died in the level, and then I went back to load, and there was nothing saved. And I was like, what? And then I was like, okay, what? Maybe it glitched or something. So I did it again. I did it multiple times, and I was like, it's just not going to save. Then I started to manually save, but then that sucks. Don't have what's it saving? And then you were like, maybe objectives or maybe achievements or something. But you
yeah.
don't want saving. That why? It's horrible. Like, what type of user interface is that? That is abysmal. Oh, I hate it. And then you turn off autosave? What is wrong with these people? Horrible. So,
But you were able to turn it on and it worked fine, right?
yeah, once I turned it on, it was fine, thankfully. But, like, why? This,
What difficulty are you playing on? Casual or
yeah, I'm just
professional?
doing casual.
Okay. I'm
And
playing
then,
professional mode, so I think autosaves might you might have to.
oh,
No, I say it.
I'm professional mode.
I say it because the autosaves maybe they don't work in professional mode or something like that. I don't know.
I don't think you know how to turn setting on.
I
So
don't think I do either.
so between the menu and the saving, that is a really big hurdle. Maybe we should have mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast for anyone listening. You have to know those things because if you don't, they will drastically reduce the enjoyment of the game. Once you get over that, I think you're going to be in the clear. But why they made those choices, I don't understand. Some of the things it's a double-edged sword here. I feel like some of the levels are a little too intricate. Like there definitely is some freedom to do it your way, but you don't have total freedom. So there was one level in particular where I was in Colombia, and I'm trying to think what exactly it was. Oh, so I went in, had to kill some guys. I dressed as a bartender, and then they quit looking for me. So I killed a guy. Obviously, they were like, "Oh, where'd it come from?" They were on high alert. I found a bartender, took his clothes, and I went out. So no one knew it was me. I didn't have a gun. Well, I just had the two holstered guns. There is zero reason that they should have expected me to be of any danger. Then I was going to go behind the bar and act like a bartender. But I couldn't. Like, there wasn't something that the game was allowing me to mix a drink or
Oh, there
something.
wasn't the blend in prompt. Yeah.
Yeah. And then everyone else just magically knew that I was the killer somehow. And so then they came after me. It turned into a shootout. It wanted me to beat it the way it wanted it to. How is I'm messing up? It wanted me to beat it
It
how
wanted you to beat off.
I needed to be beat off, and I couldn't do it. I was raw. I was sore. I needed some time off. So that I don't love. And then some of the stuff, like the thing with the poison in the trophy and the Grand Prix, it took a long time to get her to do that. Like I did all the steps, and like I understand you want realism, right? But so she did her final lap, then she had to get out of the car. She waved to the crowd. She slowly walked through the tunnel. She was signing autographs. She finally got to at least the celebration area. Then she took photos. Then she chatted with a friend. Then she did more autographs. Then she slowly walked up to the podium, and then the commissioner did a speech, and then she went up, and she did her speech, and then she drank out of the trophy. Like, seriously, that was 10 minutes of stuff that I literally sat there and just, and one of the runs, and you can hit square and you can see where your targets are. I just sat there for straight up 10 minutes and watched her just slowly get in position to do what I wanted. I mean, excruciating. Why? Like, couldn't they do something to make that faster? I don't love that. And they're not all like that, but do you feel like it's too slow sometimes, or is it only me?
I think that's, I mean, yeah, I wish there was like a fast forward button sometimes, right? Like the mission I was talking about, I had to meet somebody on the pier. She had to walk across the map to get to me. And there's nothing for me to do but like
Oh,
sit there. And in a normal flat game, like that's not as big a deal, right? Whip out your phone or something like that, right? And you're
yeah.
sitting and relaxing. But in this, it's VR. You're really standing there waiting, right? Like
Yeah.
you feel every single second. Which is part of the game, right? You that creates this whole experience, but it is frustrating, especially if you have to like replay something and you got to do that whole thing again. Like that sucks a lot. I hate that. But I guess you're supposed to be like doing other stuff. Like if it was moving faster, then you wouldn't have the ability to explore these other options. So they have to make these giant time windows. Because when she's giving the speech and take it forever, like that's when in another playthrough you might be sniping her, right?
Yeah.
Or
Oh, yeah,
setting
you're
up a
right.
trap and dropping a chandelier or something. So like I see why they have to have it. In the Paris level, there was a good thing where you had like a fireworks button. And whenever you want them to come outside, you hit the fireworks button and they come outside and look at the fireworks. And like I'm sure there's something like that for every level. It's like this will prompt them to go where I want them to go.
Mm,
But it still takes a while sometimes and it's a lot of waiting. And in VR, in VR, waiting and slowly walking behind people are like two of the worst things. Because it's like I'm in here with a headset on. I'm really standing here. This sucks.
Yeah, especially when they're wearing saggy clothes, so it's not even form fitting. What are you supposed to be doing there,
No
right?
fries with a shake. Yeah, it's rough.
Oh, awful. Other, I feel like it's a little glitchy too, the game. Not always. It's not real bad, but like I had that issue where I was invincible. That ended up being awesome. So I mean, I don't really. I guess that you don't want it to glitch, but that was actually kind of cool. I've also had it to where I can't steal people's clothes. Like I see it said
Oh yeah,
R1 steal clothes, and I mean I've done it multiple times, right? And I just some of them I can't. And it's like, what? I don't get it. I've had a couple other weird little glitchy things. To me, that's like not too bad. For me, I there is an arcade mode, but the arcade mode you can I feel like that's the mode, if I remember correctly, you can only try once a day. And
oh, is that what that is?
yeah, and it's like I want a mode where it's really almost like a god mode. We're like, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe you can die, but you can just go ham and have a ton of fun and do all these weird things, drop the chandeliers, try these experimental things. Because when you're in the middle of a run, you don't want to get too experimental because I just worked really hard to get where I'm at, right? So I
yeah,
would rather do, and I know this is my own mentality and I should maybe not do this, but I want to go for the sure thing and beat the level,
yeah.
not let's risk, trying to explode a gas can over there to see if that'll make a big explosion to make people look over there and then I can sneak behind them and choke them. Like the choking, I have a hard time getting it to work all the time.
Yeah, man, I have to punch so many people out because like you got to move
Okay, so
both
it's
your
not
hands to
just
their
me.
neck.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to move both your hands to their neck, and then if you watch, his hands will like curve like that with both hands when it's ready.
Yeah.
Then you got to pull both triggers, and then you're like again, you're just standing there waiting. Like there's nothing you can do to speed it up. You're just
Yeah, yeah, you shake them.
oh, if you shake him, it goes faster.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just been holding at him, just looking at him, just like whatever.
Oh, no, no,
It's
yeah.
just
If you shake them, yeah, they die faster.
how'd you learn that?
It's in the tutorial.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's my issue is I go to grab them and then my dude doesn't actually grab their neck. And then they like move and then they turn to look at me
And
and
then they're like, "Oh,
they
hey there."
face. And so it's like, and then you're right. Now it's either a shootout or a punch out, or if I'm lucky, I can just like run behind them and try again.
I never tried that.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it works if they're not suspicious of you, but if you look like yourself and you're being stealthy, you ruined it. And then yeah, I mean it's kind of rough. And then I don't know, some of them, in my opinion, I think the missions are a little too long. Like even though I know you can break it up piecemeal and just play one mission and that's all you need to do, I mean most submissions, especially after I got past the intro missions in each of the games. I mean, I'm spending 40 minutes to beat, and that's including me dying sometimes or whatever,
Yeah,
right? But it's a long time for a single level, and the maps are too big. Like the one I quit because I couldn't even figure out how to get to the guy, and it wasn't like there in Colombia, there's some underground tunnel system and I'm sure I had to like get in the right path, but the maps are so big. It's hard. And then I don't want to spend more than 20 minutes walking around to try to even just get to the guy, not even strategize on how to kill him.
yeah.
Just to get to his general area, it's too big. So that's a weird complaint, but that's probably one of mine.
I
What
mean,
other complaints? Or you got any others?
yeah, I think it gets into my one of my complaints of the game of like you said it's too big, and part of that's because of how the game was originally released, right? They released them like a level at a time. They expected people you'd get like the Hitman season pass when you buy Hitman, and then like every week you'd get a new level. And so they're big, which is bad when you have them all at once. You just want to like I want to play this game. But imagine having just the first level and you spend 2, 3 hours with it because you're really having fun playing game and like you're maximizing your content. Then you get the next one a week later and you do the same thing. And it's a really interesting approach to how to release these games. But there's like, I don't know if this is even fair to say, there's too much content in this game, I think. Like, this is 3 games plus like all their DLC. Um, I'm not gonna knock, I don't knock the game for it, but like it's really hard for me. Like you were playing Hitman 2 without even really realizing it, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff in this game, and it's hard to get through and navigate this game because it's all being presented to you in a way that it wasn't originally intended to be presented to you. And so like I feel like I'm only maybe 75% confident I'm playing the main game mode. Like maybe I've been
Yeah.
playing arcade mode and I just didn't know it, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. It's yeah, you almost have to have tunnel vision because yeah, you'll get overwhelmed. And at first I was upset that it was $50. So you have to buy Hitman the game, and then if you don't buy the PS5 version, you have to buy $10 upgrade to get it for PSVR 2. I didn't love the $50. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
come on, man. But I mean, if you finish the game, you're gonna definitely get that much worth of content out of it. So that makes that
Yeah.
easier to swallow, that $50 for sure, at least.
I looked up the how long to beat and it was like main story, 26 hours. Main story with extras, 275 hours. Yeah,
Wow.
it's just like if you want to do everything, you got a lot of stuff to do in this game.
Yeah, and that's for all 3 games. Like
All
the
3 games. But yeah, think about like all the objectives they show, like silent assassin, stealth assassin, do it as the clown, do it as the priest. Like that's it's a lot of objectives, a lot of content in the game, and it's all very really a lot of variety.
yeah, yeah, no doubt. The any other complaints?
Not really. I mean, it's the stuff. I mean, all the stuff we said. It's exhausting. It's surprisingly exhausting in VR, but like I like that better than not exhausting and flat. Um, like it just makes it feel real, makes it feel more effective.
I just realized I should have made the joke about I wear sunglasses at night. I messed
Too
up.
bad. You
That's
grew hair. You grew hair, Adam, over
I
the
grew
podcast.
hair. Although when you wear sunglasses, then you put actual glasses on. Wow, it's bright in here, dude. My world just changed. Okay, so you have a topic. What's the sweet spot for playing a game well after release? What are you thinking here?
That I mean, that's what I was just talking about was more or less like is I feel spoiled to complain about the fact that like I have all this content now. I buy Hitman World of Assassination. I have Hitman 1, 2, 3, all the DLC and all these extra game modes and stuff like that. And I wonder if like if this game was released in VR the way it is as Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 and Hitman 3 came out, like would I have a better time without having to kind of self-curate myself? I would I be able to spend that time in level 1 without getting FOMO about level 2, 3, or 4, because then I know level 2 is coming out next week. And it's really like a self-control thing, right? Like you need to make sure you play the game the right way. But it's I hate to complain about it, but it's really rough in games, especially games as varied as this, with so much going on as this, to play the game the right way. And it sounds dumb. Some people hate that idea. Like, you got to play it the right way to have the most fun. But, like, I want to play this game the way the developers intended me to play this game. And there's obviously things they intended me to do. And that's why I like those little mission story highlight checkpoints and stuff, because helps me do that. But if I'm like grinding my way through each level, doing it the wrong way because I've like missed something or thought about something the wrong way, because they loaded me up with all this extra stuff in the DLC that I didn't realize I'm not supposed to have or something like that, like that makes it rough for me. But I don't know. Have you seen this in other games where you just like Gran Turismo 7 kind of did it to me, where it's just like there's so much going on now. Like they because it's an online updating game, like there's so much happening, I just can't get into it.
I I strongly hate the fact that we have online updates, DLC. I think we should go back to the way games started, where you have a game, you either release it early and it sucks because you suck and you had to rush it out and it's not always the developer's fault, or when you buy a game, you get the entire game. That's the game. That's it. Release it when it's finished. I hate this DLC crap because just give me the game. That way we can all enjoy it the way it's intended. When we played Evo, A Search for Eden, when we played any of the older games that we did, right? I mean, even See a Star or something like that. I mean, I guess they had DLC
They
too.
just had DLC come out, yeah.
Yeah, of course. But at least like the main game, it didn't change. Like
Yeah.
just have the actual game. Now I know if in Nintendo you bought a game and yeah, if it's glitchy, there's no fixing it. That's the game, so that's the negative of not having updates and stuff. But yeah, I hate like I would hate, oh, I get map one, next week I get map two. No, give me the whole thing. And then later on, if you have DLC, like but even the Final Fantasy games, that the DLC comes well after the main game, I never play it. Give it to me
Yeah.
with the effing game. If it was meant to be part of the game, it should be part of the game. Not, oh, like I don't understand it. And I don't personally know anyone who likes that, but there must be people
I
because
mean, I can see the philosophy of like get into the game, have a lot of fun, play it, beat it, and then cool your jets and chill out for a little bit, and then you'll come back in a year when we release the DLC. I could see like that in my mind. It's like that sounds great, but in practice, I can't think of a single game where I've gone through that route. Even for games I love, like I loved Returnal. Returnal was so good. I had so much fun with it, and then I put it down. And then a year later, DLC came out, and I was like, yes, this is it. I'm gonna get back into Returnal. I got a reason to go back and play it again, and I still haven't touched it. Just because like there was a time in my life where I played Returnal, and that time of my life is gone, and I can't jump back in and suddenly have all those skills again that I had refined when I played Returnal a year ago, and I don't want to relearn them.
DLCs are often harder, right? Because they expect
Yeah,
you beat the
yeah.
whole game. You're an expert, but you're right. Yeah, it's been a long time since you played it. You're not an expert anymore. Yeah, but what we are an expert on is virtual reality, and that's why there's sales, and that's why I'm going to tell you what to buy and what to not buy. That way you can spend your money wisely and play the right games. Let's do it. Hitman's one. I think you need to buy it, even at full price, $50. You play this puppy, you're gonna get your money's worth. But hit me with the sales, Alex. What's going on?
Yeah, there's like some deep sales going on, I think. I don't know why they seem to expire May 8th. So we got some time, Adam. We got some time for May days. How about this, Adam? Tiger Blade is on sale. Originally $25. It's on sale for $2.49.
Oh, that's a deep discount. I don't even know what the
Yeah.
game's about, but that's a buy. Yeah,
That's no, it's a fun game. It's a real fun game. For 249, yeah, if you get an hour of like fun time out of it, it's real good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Did we play this game? Sky Climb. It's like a yellow. Like I think I'm gonna buy this. It's on sale. It's normally $15. It's on sale for $3.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my, the deep discounts. Let's go. I'm gonna look it up. Sky Climb.
I think I'm confusing it with that it's VR Monkey. I think I'm confusing it with the Stilt game.
Let me look. Oh,
Soar through the skies like never before and restore balance to the universe with Sky Climb. Restore balance to the universe with Sky Climb.
yeah, we never played this, dog. We never played this.
It's got arm-based locomotion, probably like stilts. I'm gonna get it for $3, man. Like, if there's 15 minutes of to the top type action, let's do it. Okay, Adam, it won't have the to the top soundtrack. I know that much. It's got 4.45 rating with 104 ratings on PlayStation Store. That's
Dude, I mean, the thing is, that's why I love these deep discounts. Even at $3, let's say it's another Stuck Seeker My Shadow, worth it. For
yeah.
$4, let's do it. Keep them coming.
Galaxy Cart for $3.99.
No, that's not even worth it. That game sucks.
The Murder of Sherlock Holmes for $3.49.
Ooh. These are such low prices that it's like hard for me.
Adam's losing it. The prices are too low.
The prices are too low. Even Galaxy Car, I was like, Alex, if you buy Galaxy Car, I'll buy it and we'll
I
play.
have it. We have Galaxy Card, Adam.
No, I played the trial. I didn't actually buy.
Oh, I have the game, and we could play more.
No, am I going 4 for 4? Buy all four of these games? Oh
You're
no,
not gonna get. You're not doing
these
murder for
discounts are
Sherlock
too
Holmes,
deep. No, Sherlock Holmes a mystery? Sounds interesting.
but it's like Minecraft graphics.
For $4?
Okay. All right. Well, then these next games, not the next one, but a couple coming up, you're gonna go lose your mind for.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
Chernobyl again for 749.
Now that one's a no. Yeah, it's easy no.
It looks like a cheap red matter. So like if you really loved red matter, maybe. All right, Adam. Deadland VR for $1.19.
Oh! Oh, buy it! Buy it!
And Deadland 2 VR for $1.49.
Oh, buy both!
And then Deadland 2 VR Avatar Bundle. I guess it changes your avatar. $1.49. Comes with
Don't,
all the
nah, nah.
avatars.
Yeah, put that towards one of the previous games we just talked about.
All right. How about Hubris for $8.99?
Oof. What's the normal price?
$30.
If you're really curious, I mean, I didn't think Hubris was great. Graphics are good. Mm,
It's like a knockoff Farpoint, right? Like a diet Farpoint.
yeah, it's a big diet. I neutral. 5 out of 10.
How about Mecha Party for $5.99?
No.
This game was atrocious. Atrocious. I did it for Maydays, I think. It was atrocious. Oh, it killed me. I wanted it to be good so bad. I paid 20 bucks for it. I got embarrassed. Uh, all right, this is like DLC stuff. Resident Evil Village for 15.99. Like you should just already have
Easy.
it.
Easy.
Yeah. Last Clockwinder for 9.99.
I just don't think that game's. I know you like it. I just don't think that game looks good. I don't want to play it. It could be 150. I'm not playing it because it doesn't look fun.
It's so good. Car Mechanic Simulator VR 10.39.
Ah, it's too much. Not when you got these other games at $1.50. Come on.
Spin Rhythm XD for 7.99.
Oof. I've never even heard of this, but I like Spin Rhythm. Oh. What's the normal price?
19.99.
I mean, that's a good discount. That discount is adequately deep, but I don't think.
Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2, 17.99.
No. Freddy stuff.
Shave Shave and Stuff, 6.74.
Shaving stuff?
Shave and Stuff.
Oh, 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 yeah. I'm thinking, yes. That sounds like that could be fun.
Okay, I think it looks bad, but I don't know. I don't know. VR Pigeons, 224.
If you have someone willing to actually play this like friends, I think that's worth 250.
Yeah. Uh, Cave Digger 2, Dig Harder, 11.24.
I mean, it's like that's a decent price. It's just not like uber fun. If you're really desperate to dig, yes. Otherwise, skip it.
Towers and Powers, 764.
Nope.
We have you tried that? I need to play it. I think it's what was that game that came out on PSVR 1 that I loved? It was that tower defense game. You could be
Forest?
that, huh? No, you could be that green elf lady with the big boobies shooting bow and arrow.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't remember the name of it. Alex, we got 4 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Stilt, 8.99.
No,
Operation Serpent, 6.74.
no.
Seeker My Shadow, 13.49.
Oh, get under 10 and it's a buy.
Survivor Man VR, 6.74.
Absolutely not. Garbage game.
Kazuna AI Touch the Beat, 17.49.
Touch my beef. No.
Pets and Stuff, 8.24.
Oh, I would rather shaven stuff. No.
Math World VR, 8.99.
Get out. Anything educational, don't even waste our time.
Reading World VR, 8.99.
F you. Get out of here.
Project Wingman, 17.99.
Yeah, no, but I need a wingman.
Red Matter 2, 17.99.
White matter. Get out of here.
Pixel Rip, 1995.
Oh, I thought that was the name.
Oh no, 11.99. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait, what the heck? Yeah, I don't know. You tell me.
Uh, no, but we get a bundle at some point. There's so many. Bridge the Gap, 5.99.
No.
Dead Second, 10.49.
Dead last.
Green Hell VR, 1999. I'm just all over the place now.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying that.
Phasmophobia, 14.99.
Oh, that's not bad. What's the normal price?
19.99.
No, deeper discount.
Cube VR, 22.49.
No,
Exocars, 14.99.
Galaxy Cart.
All right, and then we'll call it there. There's a couple I skipped, but who cares? All right, Adam, thank you for covering Hitman. I'm so happy you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. What a great surprise for PSVR 2 to finally have a really good game to bring you back in. Maybe now you'll check out Arcane Legend and Metro and all those
Well,
other
I'm
ones now.
buying like 5 games this week. Got deep discount.
He's got a written list of all these games.
Yeah, these discounts are
Because he
down
can't
my
just look them up on the
ankles.
internet right now.
My pockets are down to my ankles. They're too deep.
Oh, okay. Well, Adam, before I sneeze all over the microphone, let's go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so much for listening to the Hitman episode of Play PSVR 2, the podcast slash gaming is in session. Is that what we are this time?
Yeah,
Uh,
baby.
yeah, baby. If you like what you hear, join us on YouTube. Email us, contact at playpsvr.com. On YouTube, we are at gaming is in session. Leave us a comment. Let your auntie know that your two favorite big boys are big boy hitmen now. And that's how we feel about Hitman 2 and 3 and 1, World of Assassination in VR. And if you got a problem with it, then you're just going to have to
Blammo!